Direct attacks. Man, I grew up hearing that the US, Iran, and Israel have been at war for decades. My dad said it, teachers at school, every news outlet. Millennial conflict, eternal enemies, never-ending war. This direct war is completely fake. Until April 13th, 2024, Iran and Israel had never attacked each other directly from their own territory. 0 times in a 45-year fight. Imagine you and your neighbor hating each other since 1979, but you only fight through your friends. April 13th was literally historic. Operation True Promise involved 170 drones, 30 cruise missiles, and 120 ballistic missiles. The largest drone attack in world history was also the first direct punch between the two countries, between the US and Iran. Operation Praying Mantis in April 1988, a little naval scuffle in the Persian Gulf. That's it in 45 years. The Operation Epic Fury happening now, where they killed Khamenei, 900 attacks in 12 hours, is a total historical exception. The reality? It was 45 years of Cold War, secret ops, and behind-the-scenes assassinations. Actual direct war? That's brand new. Nuclear program. Dude, since I was a kid, I've heard the same thing. Iran is just months away from having a nuclear bomb. At school, on the news, on Twitter, a matter of weeks. Imminent threat. My mom gets nervous every time a news story breaks. The catch? That phrase is 33 years old. I'm not kidding. 1992, Netanyahu in the Israeli Knesset. Iran will have a bomb in 3 to 5 years. 1995, he repeats it. 2009, WikiLeaks leaked him saying within 2 years. 2012, that UN presentation with the Looney Tunes style bomb drawing by next summer. 2024, Blinken swears up and down 1 to 2 weeks. It's like that friend who's always 5 minutes away for the last 2 hours. In March 2025, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, said Iran is not building a nuclear bomb and hasn't authorized one. And the irony of the century? The people who started the Iranian nuclear program were the Americans themselves. Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace program in 1957. Agreement signed, reactor provided. MIT even created a special program to train Iranian nuclear engineers. Total plot twist. Iranian retaliation. Man, everyone I know has the same image. Iran is that crazy, aggressive country that's going to blow everything up. Axis of evil. Death to America. My military uncle always says, those guys are nuts. They're going to retaliate with full force. The data shows the exact opposite. April 2024, Iran sent 300 projectiles against Israel. Sounds apocalyptic, right? Now look behind the scenes. Iran gave 72 hours notice to countries with US bases. They waited 12 days after Israel bombed the Iranian consulate. They sent the slow drones first, like giving a hint. Hey, something's coming. Chatham House was surgical about it. If they wanted to hurt Israel, they wouldn't have violated the basic military principle, the element of surprise. The 2020 assassination of Soleimani, Iran promised harsh revenge, fired 12 missiles at a US base, and 0 Americans died. It's like making noise without breaking anything. 6 nuclear scientists killed between 2010 and 2020. Iran tried 20 retaliations against Israeli targets. How many worked? 0. The pattern is clear. Iran practices strategic patience. They only lost their cool when Khamenei was killed in 2026. Proxy war. Since I was little, I heard Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis are Iranian puppets. History teachers, History Channel documentaries, every expert on TV. Iran controls everything. Marionettes, Tehran's fingers. These puppets are constantly telling Iran to screw off. January 2024, Kataib Hezbollah kills 3 American soldiers at the Tower 22 base in Jordan. Everyone thought, obviously Iran's orders. Chatham House revealed it was against the explicit wishes of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, like an employee screwing up against the boss's direct orders. October 7th, Hamas attacks Israel. US intelligence concluded Iranian leaders knew nothing. Reuters reported Khamenei telling Hamas, "You didn't warn me. I'm not entering the war for you." Captured Hamas documents showed them trying to convince Iran and Hezbollah to participate. Bottom-up influence. Even Hezbollah, their #1 partner, has resisted. 2015. A commander resisted Soleimani's orders to send people to Syria. Soleimani cut their pay for 3 months to force them. Century Foundation said it best. They coordinate with Iran, but they have significant independence. It's like trying to control a rebellious teenager, armed with missiles. Oil in crisis. Man, for as long as I can remember, every escalation in the Middle East is the same old song. Oil is going through the roof. $10 gas. My family panics whenever conflict news drops. 2023 to 2024 sent that theory into outer space. April 13th, 2024. Iran launches the largest drone attack in history against Israel. The price of oil the next day. It fell 0.29%. Like, the market looked at that and thought, so what? October 1st, a second Iranian attack, 200 ballistic missiles. Oil rose 2.4% and went back to normal in 2 days. Goldman Sachs, the guys who move trillions, predicted $107 a barrel for December 2024. Real result, an average of $74. They were off by $30. 2024 had the lowest oil volatility in 20 years, more stable than a 60-year-old couple's relationship. Why? Iran only produces 3% of the world's oil today. The US is breaking records, 13.5 million barrels a day. China buys Iranian oil at a 15% discount. Everyone's happy. It took a literal war, Khamenei's death, to finally mess with the Strait of Hormuz. 45 years of threats? Just talk. Fragile regime. Dude, since I was born, I've heard the same thing. The Iranian regime is ending. Fragile dictatorship. The people are going to overthrow them. My high school teacher in 2009. The Green Movement will finish off these Ayatollahs. CNN analysts always. This time is different. The catch? They've been saying this for 47 years. Here's a list of what the Islamic Republic has already survived. The Iran-Iraq War, 8 years, 500,000 dead. 1999 protests, the 2009 Green Movement, Bloody November, 2019, 1,500 dead. Mahsa Amini protests in 2022, 662 dead, 22,000 arrested. The result of all that? Zero regime change. The Mahsa Amini protests looked like finally the end. 135 cities, the biggest since 1979. July 2023, the morality police returned with an even heavier program using facial recognition. Executions increased from 815 before to 1,425 after. Not exactly a collapsing regime. Why do they hold on? The Revolutionary Guard controls up to 50% of the economy. The Basiji militia is infiltrated into every neighborhood. Ironically, US sanctions strengthen the Guard. The 2024 election had 60% abstention, but the system worked. A reformist won. Even with Khamenei's death in 2026, they've already named his son's successor. There was planned institutional continuity. It's like a cockroach. Everyone hates it, but it doesn't die. Powerful BRICS. Ever since Iran joined BRICS in 2024, everyone I know is like, now China and Russia are going to protect Iran. Anti-Western bloc. What new world order? BRICS is weaker than a minor league team. BRICS doesn't have a military pact, a joint command, a common foreign policy, or an obligation to defend anyone. It's basically a geopolitical book club. The real test, February 2026, Iran, an official member, suffers 1,230 deaths in US attacks. BRICS' response, it took them a week to release a statement of concern. Iran even fired a missile at the UAE, another member. The first intra-BRICS brawl in history. Chinese support in practice. Iran is China's 38th largest trading partner. Saudi Arabia does $107 billion versus Iran's $32 billion. China officially imports zero Iranian oil, but buys 90% of it with a 15% discount. Russia, their strategic agreement deliberately lacks a defense clause. In the war in June 2025, Russian military aid equals zero. India, which buys 42% of Israeli weapons, didn't even condemn Khamenei's death. Dead diplomacy. Everyone I know says US-Iran diplomacy is over. They'll never talk again. Total war. TV analysts always. No more possible dialogue. Diplomacy never died, it just went invisible. The 2015 nuclear deal itself started with secret talks in Oman back in 2009, during Ahmadinejad, the most hardline guy. The greatest diplomatic breakthrough was born in an era of maximum fighting. September 2023, a complex 5-for-5 prisoner swap releasing $6 billion in frozen Iranian funds. May 2025, 5 rounds of nuclear talks, the first face-to-face since 2018. February 2026, negotiations negotiations reopened in Oman during the war that killed Khamenei. Oman has functioned as a geopolitical marriage counselor for 15 years, hosting almost every important negotiation. Who broke the deal first? The US left in May 2018, while Iran was complying with everything. Iranian violations only started 14 months later as leverage. Trump destroyed the deal, then wrote a personal letter to Khamenei asking for a talk. Historical pattern: whenever diplomacy seems dead, a breakthrough appears.